Steve Jobs, visionary, ruthless innovator, the king of your mom's pussy. Listen to how a man who was white rose to the top of the food chain and became a fucking billionaire. That's like the back slip, you know. That's like the text at the back of the biography I'm reading right now.
Did the podcast start?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were just like checking the sound because a second ago you were like, "Oh, it's not working."
It's working now. Yeah.
Sweet.
Cool. I think what is that? Almost burned up about a minute here just on that little bit. Let you guys know that I finished my Ed Catmull biography / manual for creativity that Gus recommended. That was like a 25-hour long listen. It was a big one. He had a lot to say about business and management and love. Yeah, I feel like that one was pretty good. Maybe a little bit pretentious, but that could have just been like the narrator doing it. But yeah, Ed Catmull, you know, he was one of the founders of Pixar, and he, you know, if he's feeling a little, what's the word, reflective, and you know, feeling like an old man, so he felt like, you know, might as well write a biography right now. So I don't blame him.
25 hours.
Yeah, damn. But he didn't read it himself. Pussy.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah. Hired some old man to read it. Some pompous old man. She's like, now I just think that's his voice, but that's not what he sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
I think he read the intro, but that was so long ago. Welcome, guys, to the Just for Clicks podcast. The only podcast with roach traps at every entrance.
Ew.
Yep. It's Wednesday, 1:05 a.m.
It's like, well, I perceive it as Tuesday because we haven't gone to bed yet.
Yeah, we got an exciting day planned tomorrow.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Tell the people what we're doing.
We are going to the minifig shop, which is like Forrest's favorite store, one of his favorite stores. And then we're taking our daughter to her favorite place, which is called the Magic House. And then we're probably going to go to the farmer's market.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like a playground or something outside. Because it's been really nice. It's been fall. That's one of the things I love about living in the Midwest, like St. Louis, is that fall and like basically all the seasons just kind of like begin like really suddenly, like right when they're supposed to.
You kind of dropped into them.
Like it's September, like literally on like September 1st. It was like a really nice day. Like it wasn't like scorchingly, like disgustingly hot like it has been for like the past 3 months. It was just like, wow, like a really pleasant, like even dare I say cool at times day, like cool breezes and stuff. And like the leaves are already starting to be like different colors. I saw like a red leaf the other day.
Ooh, yeah, that's
like,
crazy. It's
like really exciting. Like I just like that a lot because in California it doesn't really even feel like fall until like November. Like the leaves would like do not change until like November, like the end of fall.
Wow, really?
Like, after Halloween.
Damn.
Like that's how I always experience. That's how I remember it. And then, yeah, like just
I didn't even know that anything changed. I thought it was just consistently the same the whole year round.
Well, I mean, like the leaves do fall off the tree.
Wow, I don't think I even saw a tree when I lived in LA.
And it does get cooler, but like that's it. Like yeah, but here it's really crazy. It's something else. I really appreciate that about living here.
Yeah, it's good, like, to have the different experiences, the different flavors of weather.
The different flavors of outside.
Yeah.
But yeah, like during the summer and winter, it's really extreme, I feel like. and I like to just stay inside for basically all like for like at least like January.
There's a point where going out becomes like a chore.
Yeah.
Like you have to scrape the ice off your car.
Yeah.
And it's like dead ass cold, like nail bitingly, like you know, you'd burn your own mama if you had to stay warm.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's like okay. Never heard that one before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the thing with when you have like kids in car seats is that like you're not supposed to put them into the car seat with like a jacket on because that's not safe. They can like if you got into a car accident, they can like fly out because you need to like make sure that they're really like securely.
I'm really excited about like different outfits for Luna and the boy though.
I've been thinking about that.
That's cool. We're gonna get them like little coats and stuff. Yeah, Luna will look really cute in a little coat. So
like to take Luna out, or like now we have 2 kids now, River too. Like it's like a whole thing. It's like you have to put the jacket on, and then once you're in the car, take it off, put them in the car seat, and then like you have to like have like a whole like a wardrobe change for them like in the car like twice.
Yeah.
Or however many times you're like getting in and out of the car.
Has Luna experienced snow? I feel like she has. I just can't really like remember.
That was last winter. We have photos we made.
She probably can't remember it either.
Like baby like river announcement photos like in the snow.
Oh yeah, I remember that photo. I'm so glad we have photos so I can remember these things. Thank God.
Luna didn't like the snow.
She didn't like it.
She was not into it.
I think she'll be more into it this time around.
Yeah. Like we took her outside and she was in a good like fun normal mood. And then we took her outside for these photos and she like immediately like shut down and just like closed her eyes. Like she didn't even like cry or anything. She was just like immediately was just like hibernating.
Oh yeah. And this will be Luna's 3rd winter.
Yeah.
Her 3rd go around.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Because she was born in November.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, this is coming. Man, I can't believe she's going to be 3 years old.
No, she's not.
Wow.
Shut up. She's not going to be 3.
That's crazy.
She's going to be 2 in November.
She's already 4 years old. That's insane. Yeah, she's been doing some cute stuff recently. You want to tell everyone about what the kind of cute stuff she's been up to?
Like, where do I even begin? She's just cute all day, every day.
What'd she do today? Like, you told her that, like, you were, like, sitting... Were you nursing River?
Oh, yeah. River has been really, like, needing lots of attention today. So I was, like, sitting on our big bean bag in the living room and holding River. And I was like, oh, man, like, I'm thirsty. Like, I'm going to have to, like, get up out of this bean bag and like disturb River to go get some water. And I was like, wait, maybe I don't have to. And I was like, I asked Luna to go get me my water, which was like across the room, and she totally went and got it. She like knew what I was talking about and got it and brought it to me.
That's so sweet of her, dude.
She's like helping. She's like my little helper.
Yeah.
Like seriously, like not just like as like, you know, like
that's like a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's smart, dude.
She is. She doesn't say a lot of words. She like doesn't really say any words like on the regular except for up.
Yeah, she'll say up and like she'll try to say dog. She'll be like dog.
Yeah, and like ball.
When we go on our walks and like dogs bark at us, she'll be like dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't really like finish the words like completely.
Like, bah.
Yeah, just bah. Like she doesn't know how to like combine the 2 sounds.
But she like knows what words mean. Like she can understand.
Yeah, she can understand a lot more words than she can say.
Like, because I said, can you bring Mama her water? And she like knew. She knew what water.
Yeah, she knows Mama.
She knows water, Mama. Yeah, she's really smart. She knows smoothie. Like if I say like go get your smoothie or like go drink your smoothie, she'll like be like reminded that she like has a smoothie and she'll go grab it and like drink it.
I freaking love the Magic House, dude. It's such a perfect place to like take her. It's so exciting for like kids her age and stuff. It's basically this place that was put together in the 70s by these 2 women, and they converted like an old Victorian home into like just a kind of museum for children, like a children's learning museum with like things to climb on and like activities that are like informative and kind of just like a fun zone for kids.
But it's like educational
But it's
too.
more educational. It's got an educational slant to it. It's not like Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah.
where it's like trashy.
Mhm.
You don't just like dump your kid there and leave them to their own devices.
Yeah. Should we go check?
Yeah, I guess we'll go check on Luna. Okay, and we're back. We just had to go check on Luna because we heard a loud bang, but it was just her foot, I guess, against the wall. She's like asleep right now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Magic House is dope. Over the years they've expanded it, and now it takes up like a very large area. Full of they've added on to the house, the house, and turned it into something really unique and special.
I feel like we should have like checked the whole upstairs.
Babe, it's just Luna.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She was like asleep when I went in there.
I know, it's like creepy when you like hear noises of her moving around, but then like you like go up there and she's just like asleep. It's like, why is she only moving when I'm not looking?
We have like a monitor on River. I wish we had a monitor on Luna still.
I guess we should buy like a second monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we kind of just swapped the monitor we used to use on Luna, because she's pretty big now. We don't really need to watch her sleep all the time.
Yeah. I hate this.
It's like spooky. You're gonna check on her again? Mm-hmm. All right. And we're back again. Just checked on Luna for the second time. What's the situation?
When I went up there, she was awake and like playing with her toys. She was like happy to see me, and I felt bad like leaving her. She kind of cried a little bit, but she wasn't crying. She cried for like 1 second, and then that was it. And then
Yeah, I wish we had a camera on her.
I guess she's just playing.
Yeah, she like didn't take a nap today.
No, she did.
Oh, she did.
Just
You're right.
like later.
It was kind of a later in the day nap.
Yeah, like she took a nap from like 7 to 8, which is pretty late.
Yeah, that was weird. And now she wants to stay up all night.
Yeah, she can stay up as long as she wants, as long as she's in her bedroom, just like by herself.
Yeah.
What the frick?
Keep hearing like loud noises and bangs.
I don't like being in like the studio like downstairs anymore, because I feel so far from my kids. Am I crazy?
They're literally like right above us.
I feel like I'm having like, I guess because I'm like postpartum with like River.
Well, we just also have like PTSD from like the robbery.
Yeah.
Because like literally like how the robbery started happening from our perspective was like we were downstairs and heard a bunch of like bangs upstairs. So like for me that like sound is like really triggering.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, like,
because like when you hear bangs upstairs, you don't assume like people are like breaking in, like holding people at gunpoint and stuff.
Yeah, like when the actual robbery happened, I feel like I was so like naive, and like I like didn't even really like understand what was going on until like after. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I started to understand like during it, but like right before, and like I was like, oh, like what the fuck, like.
Yeah, I mean, like I pretty much immediately knew what was happening. Like the minute I saw like guns.
Well, yeah, once I saw the gun, I knew like what was going on. But kind of like before I saw a gun, I was like confused.
Right.
Like.
Well, yeah, I mean, like before I saw like the people with the guns, I thought like maybe there was just like a fight or something.
Yeah, I thought someone fell down the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounded like, but yeah, I feel like that sound is like really triggering for us probably now. Like even if it's like subconsciously.
Yeah.
For me, it's like like pretty like I don't know. It's gotten better over time.
I literally like we have like I literally grabbed like our mop because it was just sitting like in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I like grabbed it to like defend myself.
Oh, when you went upstairs just
Yeah.
now? Yeah. That's funny. I don't think a mop would really do that much.
I mean, it would keep them. It gives you some like distance, hopefully.
Okay. Yeah.
Like they say, like if you're like a woman or whatever, and you have to like walk alone somewhere, like you should bring like an umbrella, like even if it's not raining.
What are you gonna like? Use it for like kung fu or something?
Well, it like gives you like distance, kind of like between like you and like the person that might be trying to like attack you.
Right. You could like whack him with it.
Well, you shouldn't like whack them, like, but you could like jab them, like, you know what I mean, like
whack a rapist. That could be like a new game.
Don't like just hit them like with like the whole like length of like the mop or the umbrella or whatever.
Yeah.
Like jab them with the end of it. Like
the poison tipped end.
Yeah, to like keep them like away from you.
It's
if
like
that makes sense.
It's been imbued with like cobra venom or something, and like their whole like once you stick them with it even just a little bit, their entire system goes into shock and they just like fall on the ground like paralyzed. Like and like their like organs eat themselves like from the inside out like over the next 19 hours. They're just done. There's gotta be something like that you can do. Like that sounds like some Batman villain shit. That's like some like penguin scarecrow shit. But yeah, no, like realistically, you know, you don't have to worry about that because you're always just with me. You know, you don't have to defend yourself. I'll defend you, babe.
Yeah, that's like partly why I hardly go anywhere by myself.
Yeah, it's just dangerous out there.
It is.
Especially if you're a hot chick.
Well, especially if you have like kids, you're kind of more like vulnerable because like putting kids in the car seat, like if like an attacker or like a predator like sees that you have children, like you're gonna be like more of a target because like they know like, oh, you're gonna have to spend time, you know, like just like with your car door open, like putting the kids in the car seat, like, you know what I mean?
And not that you like never go out and do stuff alone, but like, you know, you're just like aware of stuff like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like I just like going with you guys anyway, wherever you guys are going. Like I want to tag along. Or
it's also been like difficult for me. I was a lot more like independent. Like me and Luna would go do things like last year, like, but when I was like not so pregnant with River.
But now that we have 2 kids, it's like you kind of need the extra help.
Yeah, like when I was really pregnant, like I was having a really hard time with her because she was like just wanted to. I remember this like one particularly like really difficult like Costco trip. I was like really pregnant with River, and Luna like absolutely would not, like, she was not having it. She was like not in a good mood. She was like just
trying to get out of the cart.
She was trying to get out of the cart. So I was like, at one point I was like holding her with one arm and like pushing my like huge Costco cart, like heavy Costco cart, with the other hand. And then that was like,
they're so heavy too.
That wasn't even the worst part. Then she just started like ragdolling. She like didn't want to be held.
Yeah.
But it's like she was kind of like at this walking stage where she like wasn't really great at walking yet. And like,
she's really good now.
So yeah, but like if I had just put her down on the floor, like, I don't know, it would have just been like,
she just like walks in circles and.
Well, she would have just probably like
fell over a
like
lot.
Like started crawling, like, you know what I mean. It was just like really.
It sounds stressful, babe.
Yeah, it was just like really bad, and I was really pregnant.
Were you struggling?
I was Mrs. Struggle at that point. Hardcore. So yeah, ever since then I've just been like, no, like I'm not going anywhere by myself with her.
I know.
And then so Forrest has been coming, and then now I have 2 kids. I have like a newborn and Luna, a toddler.
Yeah.
So still not really doing anything.
Yeah, we do like the weekly shopping like every Thursday. So
yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I like when you come. Being by myself with Luna is fun. Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's actually like I don't see it as like a chore anymore. I used to see it as like we got to go like grocery shopping, but like over time, like I'm like, oh, this is just like a good opportunity to like spend time with my family and do an outside activity with them.
Mhm.
That's pretty much our like most consistent like weekly
I think you started
pilgrimage.
liking it when we started like just going once a week on Thursdays.
Yeah, because before it was kind of just random, like whenever we needed stuff.
Yeah.
We didn't have like a day of the week set for like an expectation.
Mhm.
So it seemed like more like an obstruction of like whatever I was doing in my day, you know.
But now it's like planned. Like
And now
we
it's like,
know,
we know
like
it's
every
planned.
week we're going
Yeah.
on
So
Thursday.
you have that like mental model. And you're not like surprised or like putting it off or whatever.
Yeah.
And we just buy the right amount of food.
And if we need like other stuff or more stuff or we forgot something, I can usually buy it on like Target, like delivery.
Target delivery, yeah.
Yeah, and they'll just like
I
bring it
mentioned
to your
Target
house.
delivery in my latest video that I'm working on.
Oh yeah.
Because there's like a ring at the door and he's like, ooh, that must be Target delivery.
Yeah, we ordered Target delivery quite a bit. I
But
got
it's
like
not
the
Target,
subscription.
It's Cheetah.
Yeah.
She's at the door and she's voiced by you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that video, I just finished that today.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one to come out. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I think you know, it's good to try to get out of the house more, you know. Like go to the Magic House.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah. It's just like a really great spot to go.
Yeah. It's
But
true.
cuz like it has been really nice out, but there's also like now that it's fall time, the mosquitoes are really in full force.
Yeah, I've got bitten by more mosquitoes in the past like 2 days than like I have like in like a super long time. Like over like a month.
It's been crazy because it's been raining a lot here, and so like it creates like little puddles everywhere and like little dark little areas, and they love that. They love like the dimly lit puddle. And
Look
then
at this mosquito right on my heel. This is what I was
yeah,
talking
Alyssa has
about.
these like really extreme like reactions to them because I guess she didn't grow up here, so she's just because when I get bit by a mosquito, it really isn't that big a deal. Like it hurt, it scratches sometimes a little bit, but then it goes away after like 10 minutes. But with Alyssa, she gets bit and like they last for like days,
Look at this one.
and like they're really red and
I have
like
these,
hard
like,
and itchy.
yeah. Like they're like huge
They're
and
like
red.
it's like she just has like a really like extreme reaction to them.
It was like gross because like this summer I got bit like every single time we went outside, and like they would leave like scabs like on my legs, like you know, like
Yeah, they're not as bad during like the peak summer days because I guess they just get burned out of the sky. It's like so hot. I don't know. It zaps them.
yeah, like I thought it was bad during the summer, but then like the last few days it's been like horrible. Like literally we took a walk today. And like I literally saw like just like 5 like just like surrounding river.
It's so crazy.
He didn't get bit, thank God. But like I was like
I know.
like I was like waving them away. Like I just like it was crazy. I was like whoa, like literally like right when we stepped out.
Right.
Like when you're like walking, like if you're like on a walk, they're not so bad. But like if you like stand like in our yard or like in anyone's like yard, like you have to like just like get in and out. Like
They've somehow managed to figure out a way to get rid of the mosquitoes at Disney World. So if they can do it, there's hope for us.
yeah.
It's some sort of like giant like machine you have to buy that like calls the mosquitoes like how Batman calls his bats. But instead of using them to evade the police, we just like murder them all. And then we have like thousands of pounds of mosquito meat. Just dead carcasses comprising a big black mesh of goo that stretches for potentially miles. Because these
That's
things,
crazy.
they're prolific. I mean, they really know how to mate. For every one person on the earth, there's 10,000 mosquitoes.
That's nasty.
I made that up, but it's probably true.
Every mosquito that bites you is a female
Mm-hmm.
because she's trying to get like nutrients for her babies.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad,
Yeah.
but you know, you can't bite my babies or me. Sorry.
It's so fucked up because my grandma almost died from a mosquito bite.
Yeah, mosquitoes are nasty.
Well, my grandma's always going to like crazy places around the world, so it's kind of her fault. But, you know, she went to like, I forgot where it was exactly. This is a long time ago, back when I was a kid. But she like got bit and she got like the West Nile virus or some shit. Because like the mosquitoes will bite one person and like move like blood diseases from one person to another. So it bit somebody and then who had this virus, and then it bit my grandma, and My grandma was in the hospital, like, clinging to life. And this is, like, when she was only in her, like, 50s or something. So
That's so sad.
yeah, it was, like, a big deal. So, yeah, fuck mosquitoes, dude.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's not even right. But, yeah, they're typically harmless. I mean, hopefully Luna and River will kind of, since they're growing up here, they'll kind of develop an immunity to them like I have.
Yeah, I guess, like, if you're in America, like, the mosquitoes probably don't carry, like, crazy diseases.
Yeah, it's more like if you go to, like, other places type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to stick in America for a little bit. We might go to Australia and visit Keshin at some point.
They should come here.
Yeah.
I feel like...
I mean, it'd be cool to go to Australia, though, right? It'd be good for the kids. Teach them about how the people down under live.
I would just be scared that some crazy, like, government lockdown would happen again. And we'd be, stuck there.
They're kind of like Australians, like, took the pandemic, like, really seriously. And, like, went, like, full on, like, Gestapo.
I'm honestly, like, I don't want to go anywhere, like, outside of America. I hardly want to visit California. And, like, that's where my whole family lives.
They locked themselves down like fucking North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And they said democracy? Whatocracy?
Freedom.
Freedom? What's that?
Like, yeah.
No, yeah, they didn't. They were fucking. The way they handled it was especially retarded. But I don't think we have to worry about that. It'll probably be fine.
Hopefully.
Another thing like that probably won't happen for like 100 years. Hopefully.
I mean, I feel like they might just, like, make something up.
A new
lock
strain.
everyone down.
Yeah, we just discovered a new strain of the virus.
I saw, like, this, like...
It's 300,000 times deadlier than Omicron.
I follow this, like, satire, like, Instagram. And they kind of make, like, satire, like, news headlines or whatever.
Yeah.
And then one of them was, like, CDC reveals, like, new strain of COVID that has no symptoms and you test negative for it or something like that. Like, and it's like...
Oh, shit.
So you never know who has it.
It's so funny. Like, there's a lot of people who, like, I watch on YouTube and they're, like, so worried about, like, the YouTube algorithm or something. Like, they'll be talking about something completely unrelated, like a Batman video or something, and they'll be like, COVID will come up, they'll mention it, and they're like, oh, but I can't talk about that, or YouTube will, like, shut my ass down, or, like, just anything, or they'll do, like, trigger warnings for, like, really, like, basic shit now, or, like, basically just, like, censoring themselves, like, preemptively, because they're just worried about, like, the YouTube bots, like, demonetizing them just for, like, discussing topics or saying things. And I just feel like that's such, like, a, I don't know, like, pathetic way to, like, approach, like, creating online content.
Yeah, just, like, bowing.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, like, sure, they want to get paid, you know. But, yeah, if you're, like, really not going to, like, you know, want to talk about something, don't bring it up.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it, but then, like, talk around it. Like, on TikTok, like, people are always, like, people who are unalived or something, because they can't say death, because, like, then the algorithm will, like, shut their ass down. Mm-hmm. So they just speak around, where it's super bizarre. It's, like, a new thing that's been developing, like, recently.
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that, too. Like, if you want to say the word, like, vaccine.
Right.
Or, like, anything, like, not even, like, talking about COVID, like, just talking about, like, you know... Like, because I follow a lot of moms, and, like, they'll talk about, like, you know, their health decisions for their kids, or, like, whatever. And they won't say the word, like, vaccine. They, like, always, like, say something else, or, like...
Yeah, because they're, like, worried they're going to get censored.
Yeah.
And, like, yeah, I mean, that's credible in certain cases, but I'm talking more about, like, people who just are talking, like, about other things, and then
something else that
they like censor themselves, like,
ever since, like, the whole COVID situation. Like, the whole thing, how like social media things, like YouTube or Instagram, will have kind of like a thing about, if you say anything about COVID, they'll say like, here's information
Yeah, like
about
a little
COVID.
pop-up. Yeah, a little link.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
YouTube does that for like a lot of stuff now. Like
Really?
not just like
What
COVID,
else?
like abortion. Like I saw this one video about like
Pushing some agenda?
yeah, or it's like saying
So lame.
like I saw this video and it was like this guy like going out on the street and like talking to people about abortion, or not just out on the street. I think he was like at like a pro-choice like rally or something.
Sure, yeah.
And like he like was interviewing people there, and like in like the little preface of the video, or like right under the video, was like said something. I forgot exactly what it said, but it was just like, yeah, something about abortion, like some like fact, like abortion is like a procedure to end a pregnancy, like learn more about it here, or something like that.
Like we all already knew that though.
And yeah, it's just like, why? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not into
It's like the dumbing down of like the way like social media interacts with you and like treats you like it talks down to you like you're a child, basically.
Yeah, it's like you should. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like, yeah, I feel like if you're here watching this video, like you know what abortion is. I guess like because they're so like it's such like a politically charged video, I guess, like, or they think that it's like, oh, like this could be spreading misinformation or whatever.
Yeah, the whole like misinformation
it's like so lame.
Is like Snopes, fact checked.
Oh my gosh.
Checked.
Don't even get me started.
Yeah, it's just like so. Yeah, we live in like the most like retarded age like ever, like online. Like people are so like fake, and yeah, like freedom of speech is like literally like under attack like every day.
Like remember that thing a while ago where it was like Biden was giving out like government funded like crack pipes to people or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you would go on like Snopes, it would say like, no, it's not true. But then if you like read,
we have no agenda here at Snopes except for all the money we get from Democrats.
Exactly. But then if you like read like the kind of like, description or like the paragraph like under like where it says no, it literally like says like yes.
Yeah, right.
But you just have to like read a little bit more. Like it's like, what? Like it was like, yeah, I don't know. It was
like,
just,
no, that is not true. And then it's like, actually, it was true, but they changed the bill so that it didn't include that.
Yeah,
because it got like backlash. It was like, not popular. So like they like changed the wording or whatever.
Yeah, and then people like the press secretary and stuff like just lied and was like, no, like I don't know, like it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like, there's just so much weird like.
Let's like not give people free crack pipes.
Right.
Let's give them like food and shelter. Okay, we don't need to facilitate them doing drugs, unless it's like completely controlled like by us. Like the people who are like rehabilitating these people. Like if you're trying to wean someone off a drug, they do that, in a medically controlled situation. Because like if you just stop cold turkey on these drugs, like it can like kill people. So it's like in a lot of cases you do have to like wean them off, but like that should be like heavily monitored and controlled. We shouldn't just be giving out free drugs, and that's literally the next step is like, oh, let's just give them free drugs, because like, oh, the drugs that they're smoking, like the crack they're smoking isn't like pure, they're ODing on it because it's not like a good crack. So like logical, like we'll have less ODs if we just give them crack. That's like like the thought process.
Yeah, it's literally just like retarded. Like,
yeah, and it's like not actually solving the problem. It's just like continuing it.
Yeah.
Like the problem is like these people like don't have like a will to live. Like people need to be like inspired more.
Mm-hmm.
So many people are just so like pessimistic about like life because they didn't have like positive like role models or like figures in their family that like raised them. So like they don't have a reason to care. We have to give people a reason to care, or they're just going to turn to drugs and alcohol and just abuse themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have to imbue people with passion, but that it's easier said than done. A lot of people are really stubborn. What were we talking about?
Oh, just like social media being gay, basically.
Yeah.
Like misinformation or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like my channel's like gotta have been like shadow banned or something, because like it's weird how I have like so many subscribers, but like my videos just don't get that many views.
Yeah.
My newest video is doing pretty well, so I think it's almost at like 400,000. But you know, considering I have like 1.5 million subs, you'd think it would. I don't know. I guess like, yeah, it's like a pretty like decent like click through rate, I guess. But like if you look at like where the views are coming from, most of it's from like YouTube recommended. It's not like from subscription boxes. So it's just about kind of like creating a video that gets enough buzz initially to where YouTube starts like recommending it. Same way with TikTok. Like the first like 24 hours is like pretty crucial. Because like based on like audience retention, you know, watching the video, the first people, they'll recommend it to more people. And the YouTube recommends is really like the new subscription box. That's like how people kind of get their content. They really shifted and pivoted towards that, you know, years ago. And I feel like the way YouTube, you know, kind of operates is like a lot different these days. So hopefully I'm not shut up, Ann, but I don't know, I just get that feeling sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like a lot of people say that. I'm probably not shut up banned. I don't think, you know, I guess like my videos do say like a lot of stuff. I just never like think about like, oh, like is this video gonna get flagged, or like, you know, I just doesn't, you know, I just don't care. Like I'd rather just make the video I want to make.
A lot of like political people I follow on Instagram, sometimes you literally have to like type in their whole name, like their whole username on Instagram, like to like the search bar.
Yeah, it's like
they
exceedingly difficult to find them for some reason.
Yeah. Like that one guy I listened
definitely.
to, like James Lindsay. He's completely banned from Twitter. Like Twitter just like completely banned him. And if you follow him on Instagram, you literally just have to like type in his whole, like it won't like just show you his like posts like on your feed or whatever.
So
like
crazy.
it's like,
yeah, there's like such an error of like censorship and like agenda.
Yeah.
Like politics are like influencing.
It's kind of just like you're making yourself,
the internet
like
so
these
much.
people are making themselves like seem like scared, like by trying to like hide things like so much.
It doesn't engender like support for your cause.
Yeah, like you just seem scared. Like you seem like you can't argue your point. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, it comes off as like pathetic. But I think it's so under the radar that most people don't even really think about it.
yeah.
It's more just like they're being influenced. Because people spend so much time on social media, and like people just believe what you tell them. So you tell them, you know, to think one way, and then you censor the type of content that disagrees with that way, then has a massive influence on people at large.
Yeah. Yeah, just how like that algorithm works. Like,
it's crazy.
You'll only like see things that like you agree with for the most part.
It's like a natural evolution, I suppose, of the internet and like hive mind thinking. It's like we used to be able to only like you know, follow leaders that we could see, like wolves. You know, wolves have like a pack leader, and like the wolf group can only grow to a certain size before they start to break off into splinter groups and start warring with each other. Whereas humans, you know, we have the wherewithal of mind to suppose a leader in our head and think of him as a figure that we've never actually met or seen, but we can still understand that they're like in charge. So we can have like much larger groups than wolves. And yeah, I think with like the internet, it's kind of just like a big like melting pot of like ideas and stuff. So like I think certain kind of like ideas like take hold much quicker and stronger than ever before. It's like, obviously this is all kind of like obvious stuff. I don't know if I'm really saying anything new here, but but yeah, it's kind of interesting because we're like in the middle of this like evolution of like consciousness.
Things are changing so rapidly. Like
Yeah.
cause yeah, like back kind of before the internet and stuff, like, you know, things would just be like the same for like decades. Like there would be like hardly any like you know, like changes like in
I
how
know.
like people thought.
It's so
Like
crazy to me, like how things had to be back in the day. Like if you wanted to become, you know, like an animator, you'd have to like find people who knew how to do it. Like when Walt Disney first, got to start, there was like one book written about animation.
yeah, like if you had like an idea,
And it wasn't at like your local library, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
What were you going to say?
Yeah, like if you had like an idea or some like issue that you kind of wanted to make like the public aware about, or yeah, even just like a thought, like, like you'd have to write like a book and like get it published.
Yeah, get it published, yeah.
And then like people would have to like
they had to search out the book like either by ordering it from like a magazine or like going to the library.
Yeah,
or like knowing someone who had it.
It might, and then if some, whoa, and then if some like you could be like lucky and like some like rich person like read your book and was like inspired by it and like got all their like what I like.
Oh yeah, people used to read a lot more.
Yeah,
people used to read the newspaper. You get the newspaper thrown at your door,
and
then there'd be like think pieces and stuff. That was like the internet back then.
Yeah.
Newspaper thrown at your door. That was like the iPad.
Like, yeah, I was like watching, I was listening to this podcast the other day and it was about how like we kind of like environmentalism or whatever, and like how like this whole idea that like the world is ending and like we're overpopulated and stuff like got started. And it was like this book that came out in like the 70s called like The Population Bomb. And then like once that book became like popular, like it like hasn't like really like it was like this idea is still like super prevalent in like our society, like even like now more than ever. But like now like since like that was so like in everyone's mind, like yeah, like people like this one guy in the 90s like wrote a book kind of like disagreeing with that, like, you know what I mean? And it's just kind of like,
yeah, people like love to say that we're overpopulated because it's like an edgy like teenage edgelord thing to say. Like, oh, we're gonna live in like a dystopian future.
We need to stop people. We have too many people on the planet.
There's too many people on the planet.
It's also like really an edgelord thing to say is like, oh, like I wish my mom aborted me. Like, because like if
it falls in line with that same type
like
of
if you
logic,
say like like if you're like pro-life or whatever, and like you say like, well, I'm glad your mom like didn't abort you, like they'd be like, oh, well, I wish she did.
Well, I have to pay rent, so I'm sad. Yeah, it's like all these just like
life
liners.
Is hard sometimes, like
living in the first world, like with like so many like resources and abundance.
Yeah,
it's like people are just like they've gotten soft for sure. I'm one of them, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that I'm hard or anything, but things used to be so much more difficult for the majority of people.
I don't think like people even realize.
No, it's just like lost generation to generation. Like we've grown up and lived in such abundance that our ideas have completely like shifted on like what's acceptable, like, and like what like fair is, and these kinds of like like ideas that are out now just I don't think they have like any kind of real like bearing, or they don't really have like a real what's the word, like basis in like reality or like facts. It's just like people have gotten like bored, or things are too easy, so now people have all these like ideas about how things could be better, and it's like things are going really well, like overall. Yeah,
and it's like,
and they are getting better.
Yeah,
they don't radically overhaul like capitalism.
Capitalism is like why things are so good.
Yeah, like that's
People
it's
just
definitely
don't.
like a part of it.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I just don't. People just are. Yeah. They like. Yeah.
It's like there's just like a lot of Marxists online.
Yeah.
People
for
don't really
sure.
understand like how like life works.
Yeah. They
Walt
just.
Disney had to wake up at like 3 a.m. every day and like rain or shine, you know, like hot or cold, like he'd have to go get the papers and go on and deliver papers to everybody in this like huge area for like hours when he was like 8. And then like he'd miss like the first half of his school doing this. Like that was his job. Like his dad like forced him to do that.
Mhm.
Like the kids we don't do that to kids anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Like.
And then like one year I think his dad bought him a bike and it was like the biggest deal ever. But like yeah, like I don't think we could even imagine doing that with our kids today.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Now it's like we could like most kids like have a bike and it's like not that like huge of a deal. Like it's just like.
They're not expected to do like this extremely laborious, like intense,
Yeah.
like dangerous work
Uh-huh.
to like support their family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before that, like kids were like like chimney sweeps and shit.
Oh my god, I hate that. I hate thinking about that.
I know that's like the worst
It's
thing to
fucked
think
up.
about.
Like I just don't think people realize like yeah, like just how poor people were
Yeah,
and just how bad people like treated each other. Like
I know. Yeah, we're just like living in the best time of human history.
Yeah,
and,
like-
and everyone's just complaining.
things were like extremely
frustrating.
grim, like really horrible. Like and yeah, now it's like yeah, horrible things happen in this time period too, but like not nearly as often. And it's like
It's like also like there's tons of space. Like the world isn't like
oh
overpopulated.
yeah.
It's just like cities are overpopulated.
Yeah, just like move out of the city.
Move out of the city. It's cheaper anyway. Everyone's just obsessed with living in the city though,
Yeah.
because people just like love, you know, community and stuff. It's like human nature. But if you just like
Like you can have a community, like
have a
not
smaller
in a
community
city.
and just like yeah, I think COVID was actually kind of a good thing in a lot of ways because it like necessitated the need for working from home. So a lot more people got like comfortable with that, like older people who might not, you know, be into that initially learned how to do it and you know through Zoom and stuff. So now I think jobs are a lot more mobile and people can work from anywhere. I mean that was a trend that was already happening, but now that COVID has kind of forced more people into it, I think that's like a net positive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's literally no point in like being a pessimist. Like being an optimist is like the only logical like solution. Like even if you're not always optimistic, like just act as you are. Yeah, act like an optimist because like there's no point in being a pessimist. No one ever follows pessimists. Like leaders are always optimists. And like everyone should strive to be a leader in themselves and in their community.
It's also just like where is like your life gonna go if you're just like a pessimist?
Right, nowhere.
Like if you're just like, oh, like nothing good is gonna happen. Like to
We're
me,
overpopulated.
yeah, like we're overpopulated. Like
This country sucks.
yeah,
You know, a lot of that, like, yeah, just a bunch of whining and complaining. Like, it's just like, yeah, you can't, it's like, it's just like white noise to me now. Like, I feel like, I used to get more upset over it, but now I feel like recently I've just been like focusing on my own stuff and I just don't like care as much because people are just always going to be like that,
mm-hmm.
you know, until everything's like perfect and then they'll
But
find something else to
nothing is
complain
ever
about.
gonna be perfect because the thing is like just like the word like progressive or like oh I'm a progressive or like this is progress like it doesn't like work like that. Like there are always like trade-offs. Like when something like okay, so there's like a really good idea for something, right? Like you know what I mean? Like it's gonna help a lot of people make the world better. Like there are like thousands of like unforeseen consequences to that. Like you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah.
Like for like literally anything because we live in like it's like the whole like yin and yang concept. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
the
good times create weak men. Weak men
Yeah.
create bad times.
Yeah, literally exactly.
Right.
So like
Bad times are, you know, made better by like bad times create strong men.
mhm.
You know,
Yeah, it's like, yeah, yin and yang, like push and pull of like history and
Yeah.
time and like just like the universe. And it's like, so yeah, just like this idea. I don't know where I was going with that, but
You see the same thing in like microcosms, like in the film industry and stuff, like
yeah.
throughout the decades. Like Quentin Tarantino was like talking about that, like where you'll have certain decades that are like more censored in films, like the 1980s, and then there's like a rebellion against that, and more like punk rock movies are made like in the 90s, and then you have like a sway back to the conservative. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's always that like push and pull.
Yeah, like I'm almost like worried, or not like worried, I don't know, but like thinking about like what the pushback to all this stuff is gonna be, you know, like in the future, or like when it's gonna happen.
Well, like I'm always trying to push back against like some censorship and
Yeah.
like negativity.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, like I'm always like advocating for like openness and like not jumping to conclusions, hearing people out, having respectful dialogues. That's the other thing. People just like don't know how to like argue. Like I'll get into like conversations with people on Twitter, and they'll start like throwing, you know, like insults around, and it like has nothing to do with like the issue we're debating, and it just makes you look weak. Like if you have to insult the person you're having a debate with, like you've lost the argument.
Yeah, I always get
embarrassing
whenever I like argue with people on the internet, like
yeah,
I always get
it's like how a child argues.
I like I just kind of know like that they're like losing when they start insulting my like job or like my lifestyle.
Yeah,
Because when I was a cam girl, I would always get like, "Oh, you're just like a cam girl."
and now that you're a mom, there's like,
And
oh, you're just a mom.
Yeah, now that I'm a stay-at-home mom, I get like, "Oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom."
Yeah, it's like anyone's just anything if you put just at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's
like, so what
it's just word
career
salad.
like could I be that you would like all of a sudden like
Yeah.
respect my opinion and hear me out?
Yeah, right.
Or like take what I'm saying like seriously and like think about it. Like, you
it's
know
just
what
like an
I mean?
attempt to like, you know, like discredit you, you know, and prop them up. Instead of their ideas being strong enough to prop themselves up, they have to like feel the need to tear down others to make their ideas seem like the only thing left. When it's just like the completely wrong-headed approach to things. So yeah, it's surprising like the amount of people who just like lack decorum. And it's nice though when I do get into an argument with someone who like understands like boundaries and understands like respect and it, you know, I do have good conversations with people on Twitter. You know, we might disagree with each other like very much, but you know, we can hash out ideas and talk creatively. And we might piss each other off, and we might have those like thoughts in our head, like, oh, this person like is just this or whatever. But you don't say that kind of stuff because there's a level of respect that needs to be like granted in order for both sides to be heard. Otherwise, you're just like shouting into the void, which is completely useless. So yeah, I try to avoid conversations where people are just like, obviously just trying to like fuck with me or like insult me. Insult me is just like, yeah. It's like they need to go back to like life school or something. I don't know. No one ever taught them how to argue or how to debate.
Yeah.
There's like wild animals.
Yeah. Like I saw this TikTok one time and I thought it was a really cool, like I thought it was nice, but it was like this mom and she was saying like how to kind of like explain something or like to a child that like you don't agree with, kind of like explaining like kind of like a political idea or like some type of idea to a child, and but like keeping it like neutral. So like, because she was basically saying like, you don't want to like just like this, this is horrible, like this is bad, like we're not,
you want to
like,
let the kid make up the decision for themselves.
And she used the libertarian like flag, like the "Don't Tread on Me" with like the snake. And I like more relate to like libertarians, like I guess like more than any other political group.
Sure.
So like I felt like her like description of it was like really fair and like nice. Like I don't know, like she was just like like explained like the whole concept of like the snake, like, you know, like don't tread on me, like, you know, like like fuck off, like leave me alone, like, you know what I mean, like type of mentality. And like but then like yeah, and like the comments she wrote, like what I really want to say is like, and it was like you're like a piece of shit or like something like that.
Yeah, but you don't say that
Yeah.
because that would lower you and
Yeah.
your argument.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought that was like cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then she said like you're a piece of shit who wants to take my rights away or something like that. And I was just like, do you know what like a libertarian is? Like that's like the exact opposite of what like most people who identify as libertarian like want.
Oh, someone was saying that to a libertarian? That they
Yeah,
want to take their rights away?
it was the same woman who made this TikTok.
Right.
And she was like, you know, what I really want to say is like, you're a piece of shit who wants to take my rights away, or like something like that.
Uh-huh.
Or like, what I really want to say is like, you know, because it was like something like, it was like, oh, like my kid saw this like sticker, like this bumper sticker, or like someone with like this flag like, in front of their house or something. Like, you know what I mean? And so it's like, you know, a person is like saying that they, you know.
Yeah, there's like certain things we have to teach Luna, like that are just like the right way of
that's
thinking.
what I'm thinking, like.
But then there's other things where it's like I don't want to influence her too much, like on my own political like viewpoint.
Yeah,
like obviously like I'm not going to teach her like, oh, like some people think being gay is okay and other people think it's a sin, you know, like it's up to you which one it is. Like I'm going to tell her, you know, like being gay is okay.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to tell her like any kind of like anti-gay shit is like, oh, maybe that's
well,
right.
I guess the thing is like,
but there's other things.
I guess the thing is to just
where I'll be more ambiguous.
I guess the thing is just keep it like neutral. Like she didn't say anything like particular. Like she didn't say anything like positive about like the libertarian flag. She just saying like this is what they think.
Sure. Yeah.
And like so it's like, so if we saw like, I don't know, like just something that we don't agree with, we could just keep it like neutral.
Yeah,
like
that's a good idea,
if that makes sense. Like we could like if we see like,
I want her to like develop her own like political opinions. Like I kind of want to like shield her from like, because I feel like my parents didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're very much like, yeah, we're you know Democrats, you know, we follow this, and you know, fuck, you know, Republicans and stuff, and it's like very black and white. And yeah, I feel like that's not how I want to be.
Yeah, my parents were the same way. Like my dad, like I literally grew up with like watching like Fox News, and like my dad.
Yeah, you're
was,
like the opposite.
Super like conservative, and like I Obama won when I was 8 years old, and I cried. Like that's like how much like my father.
Her dad told her that like Obama was gonna make it illegal to be a Christian.
He did.
And that yeah, and Alyssa was like 8, and she like thought that like she was gonna be, her and her family were gonna be like hunted down by the government.
Yeah, like I literally thought, and like I went to a Christian school, so I was thinking like, oh, am I still gonna get to go to like my school?
So that's like not what we want to do with Luna.
Yeah, like I literally cried when Obama won.
I mean, yeah, my upbringing wasn't that intense. I think my parents haven't ever been that political, other than just like leaning Democrat in most situations, and like you know, not really discussing things openly, kind of just like more just like stating like how things are, or like how things should be. Whereas like, yeah, I kind of want to leave it more like open-ended. Like I don't want to definitively tell Luna how I feel about things unless she like specifically asks.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's important.
Yeah, that's another thing I'm happy that we're like homeschooling her for.
Yeah. Because
if we sent her to like school, she would definitely just be like a complete liberal. Like especially if we sent her to public school.
Well, that's how they control like the next generation, is like getting them early, young. You know,
if we sent her to public school, she would be like coming home being like, I use these pronouns.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Like
any like idea, you know, that you have to like get on board with, or like you're like there's like a threat of you being like excluded or ostracized from the main group is you know, toxic behavior that should be heavily questioned.
Yeah. It's so like fucked up because it's like humans like need connection with other humans to like survive. Like we have this like evolutionary like
I actively try to
scare.
fight back against like the need to fit in.
Yeah.
I think the need to fit in is like a fallacy. I think you need to be an island unto yourself.
It's just kind of sad because it's like that's like a luxury of like our modern times of like not needing to fit in.
Yeah, no,
Because-
back in the day you had to.
Because yeah, like remember that one?
We should take advantage of our freedom that we have.
Yeah, literally.
Because like yeah, if you grew up in like the Middle Ages or whatever, you had to believe in a certain religion or you'd be slaughtered.
Well, yeah, and then remember like that one movie that we watched? I think it was like The Witch or something.
Yeah.
Like that family just
Or
got
yeah,
like
if you're just in like a
ostracized
community
from like they just got like banished from like their community, and so it's like this family, like
they're
the
left out to
mom
fend
and
for
dad
themselves. Yeah.
and like these like 3 kids. Like who are these 3 kids gonna grow up and marry? Like they literally have nobody. Like they can't. Like their lives are just like over.
Yeah.
Like because they're like got like, you know, pushed out of like this their like group, their community. But yeah, like now we don't have like that fear. Like we can like, you know,
We have to actively try to
like an
fight against like the hive mind, because that's how like
yeah.
witch burning and shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people just get fucking crazy. You know, like, I mean, it happened large scale with the Nazis and stuff.
Oh my god.
So
yeah, it's
we can't.
what's that called? It has like a name, like
What?
oh yeah, like mass psychosis,
Yeah.
where like everybody is just like crazy.
Yeah,
like
just the fear and intimidation of threat to one's livelihood and one's physical well-being is like a really strong motivator. Turns out.
There was also like this quote that I heard that was like, if you can get people to believe absurdities, you can get them to commit atrocities.
Yeah.
So like if you can get people to believe, you know, like yeah, like a certain like type of person is like evil just because, like Jews or whatever, like you know what I mean, like then you'll just like have in your brain like, oh, like this is okay, like this is right that I'm killing these people, like you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing with like, you know, people online, you know, it's like we're so quick to label each other as the out group. It's
super Marxist.
Yeah, I mean both sides do it. It's like, oh, they're just this or they're just that, and you check them away into a box in your head, and people are a lot more complicated than that. And we try to simplify things and we try to categorize things that's in our nature. So I feel like we have to actively attempt to remember that everyone's an individual and we can't lump them in together, even though, you know, it's very enticing to do so. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. We'll be back next week. We kind of dropped out for like 2 weeks there. We skipped last week's podcast, and I don't know. It's just I think it's better if we do it every Tuesday. Every Tuesday we just record the pod, so it'll probably come out tomorrow, like Wednesday. So yeah, you can expect this pod to come out every Wednesday, and I'm gonna try to start getting a more consistent thing going with Mason too. It's just Mason's schedule is kind of wacko. Typically he can record Sunday, but a lot of times he'll want to do it earlier in the week or later in the week. But ideally, you know, we'd have a situation where, like, even if that did happen, I know it comes out, I can edit it by Thursday or something. So I can post this one every Wednesday and Bait Buffet every Thursday. You know, something so it's, like, very consistent for you guys. That's, like, my goal. But I think we can definitely achieve that with this podcast, at least, as long as, you know.
Yeah, I'm always here.
We're both always here, so we can definitely do this. And I'm working with Mason on getting video together. We kind of made some steps towards that, so we can start streaming these podcasts as well with live 4K video. I just have to buy like some new cameras. I know everything I need to buy now. Basically, I'm just gonna wait for my next paycheck, and then it'll be fun. We can do this, and then we have to actually get dressed. And
I know. I was
try.
like thinking that when you said like we're gonna record our podcast, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Have to like look nice.
Yeah, because we've got like the nice like bait buffet sign. We gotta show that off.
Mm-hmm.
But for our podcast, what are we gonna do? We're gonna like flip it around and have it say something else, or like we drop something down. I don't know, or we could just. I mean, we can just record in front of the bait sign too. But yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I'm gonna mount some like cameras, some DSLR like cameras, and then like connect them via USB to the laptop, and it'll be like the Joe Rogan experience up in here. All right.
What if we get as popular as Joe?
What if?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything's possible, really. Just with a bit of spit and sweat and a dream.
Mm-hmm.